but he did.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I had a relationship with cancer. My mother passed away from breast cancer, so I knew the feeling. I knew, you know, what goes through their mind and stuff like that. So to see him, a very young man, faced with this sort of struggle and to come through it, I mean, you could only learn. I mean, as a young person, even myself, you know, you never know what's around the corner. So I felt that he dealt with it admirably, and you know, all kudos to him. And as I keep saying, you know, he's got a great mind. He's a great style. He's going to be fine. He's going to be good to deal with.
He's going to be fine because he has the love of so many Indians and cricket fans across the world. Yuvraj Singh, wishing you all the very best. But of course, we've also got a game. Remember that. Southampton, it's still raining. We're going to be bringing you some updates. Stay tuned.
This is Yuvraj Unleashed.
In 2007, the Cricket World Cup made a long overdue visit to the Caribbean. After 32 years, the West Indies were finally being given the opportunity to host the sport's flagship competition. Landing in the Caribbean as favourites were Australia. They'd won the two previous tournaments in England in 1999 and in South Africa in 2003. Captain once more was Ricky Ponting.
Well, it changed a lot. We'd all got 4 years older. We'd just gone to New Zealand immediately before that 2007 World Cup and lost 3-0 over there to New Zealand. Albeit we had a few of our guys who were out of that side injured. But I remember when we arrived in the Caribbean, that every journalist, all they had to say was that we were past our best and we couldn't win, and how can New Zealand beat 3-0? And I remember the first press conference we had there, the guy got asked the same question by 3 or 4 different journalists, and the only way I answered it, I looked at him and I said, well, you asked me that question in 5 or 6 weeks' time and see what sort of answer you get. And I just knew that our group would come together well and that we would play well in those conditions.
For the hosts, the World Cup had provided some of their truly great moments. Recent years had brought turmoil, but their affinity for the competition, which they'd won under Clive Lloyd in 1975 and 1979, remained intact.
I think a lot of the governments felt that it would boost tourism, perhaps even more than cricket. That it'd bring a lot of people here, help the economies. West Indies cricket in 2007 had gone through almost a decade of decline, problems between the board and the players, defeat all over. And I don't think anyone here really felt that the West Indies had it in them at that time to go on and win the World Cup. Of course, there was immense disappointment that they didn't go further and that they did it so badly. But in the end, I don't think it was that much of a surprise to people who would follow the game here. Up until almost midway through the competition, the players and the board had not signed contracts. There was a dispute over that. Even before the tournament started, there was a feeling, because there was no contract signed, that the West Indies might boycott the tournament. The players might not take part because of that. So I think, as far as the playing side was concerned, no one held out great expectations. But as far as the financial side, the boost for the local economies, that was where the excitement, the expectation was.
The reigning champions, struggling for form, opened their account against Scotland.
It probably took a bit of the favourite tag off us and took a bit of the spotlight off us, and we just went about getting our work done and almost slipped under the radar a little bit. I think there was a lot of talk about South Africa going into that tournament. There was a lot of talk about India and Pakistan, and we know that they both went out early.
That will take Ponting to 1,000 runs in World Cup cricket. He is the 6th person to do so, and that stroke, as much as any, illustrates his gifts.
the favourite tag is something I think we've always had to cope with, because most tournaments that we've been in the last 10 or 15 years we've been the favourites, and we've had to get on with it and not think about that side of things. But when there's people out there doubting you that don't think you can get the job done, or don't think you can win, I just think it makes you that little bit hungrier.
He's good at that. Really good at it. Yes, absolutely perfect and nearly catchable by us. Just 2 yards to our left hand here in the commentary box. 50 for Ricky Ponting. That's an exceptional innings.
And he goes again, and he goes big, this time over mid-wicket. Catch for the crowd, and they put it down. Played Ricky Ponting, there it is. His 4th World Cup 100, and done in style.
In great style, a man for the big occasion.
Here we go.
He is a great captain, a great player, and as a batsman he has performed like in nothing to compare with anybody else in the whole world. And as a team, he got a good team to captain and manage, and which he's doing really well.
The 2007 World Cup saw 16 countries competing for glory, the biggest field of any tournament so far. Bermuda were taking part for the first time.
Edged and taken, what a catch! That's a stunning catch! Sensational catch, he's celebrating! It's happening! It's happening for Bermuda! Lever up the catcher!
He's on a lap of honour, where is he? He ain't over there. He's miles away. Here he is, the big man. The fridge has opened.
This was also Ireland's first appearance at a World Cup, and they qualified for the Super 8 stage.
Every kid is just growing up wants to play at that highest level, and you watch your idols playing in World Cups and things like that. And I think that it's actually a tangible goal is to get to a World Cup and test yourself against the best. And I think that if you took that away from the smaller nations and associate nations as such, then it would take a lot of that drive out of them, and I could see the death of cricket in a lot of countries.
Ireland's group game against Pakistan would be one of the biggest upsets in the history of the World Cup.
That's the right length, and he's taken it. What a start for the Irish team.
The big game we targeted before we went into the group was the Zimbabwe game, and we knew they had that one first up, and then we knew if we got a result in that, then it was only going to be a case of getting one result out of the other 2 games, and we obviously thought we could do that on our day. We didn't necessarily think it would be the Pakistan game. We were thinking maybe the West Indies. It can be a bit harder call at that time, but now it just turned out to be the Pakistan game. We got the result before the West Indies game and seen us through.
नयाँ अब टेक आइडियाहरू गर्ने क्रिएट गर्ने टेक न्युजहरू ल्याउने प्लेयरहरू जस्तो त्यही नै हो र अहिले भनेको यो फुर्सदमा क्या हामीले सबै कुरा गर्न यसो क्रिएट मात्रै गरिरहेको क्या यो अहिले। नमस्ते दादा। एकदम सही हो। तपाईँ यत्तिकै सुनिरहेछौँ हामीले तपाईँले। अहिले चाहिँ यो मैले खासमा यो लाइभ गर्नुपर्ने भनेको चाहिँ भर्खर सिक्या हो क्या यसो जनरल कुराहरू। खै हरायो त के जाति त। हो दादा यो लाइभ स्ट्रिम हेर्नु।
class.
रेन वहाँ हेर्न हामी यो मैले सेयर गरेको क्लिक गरेर हेर्नु त थाहा भइहाल्छ सबै कुरा यहाँ हेर्न यहाँ के चीज छैन क्या यहाँ यो त्यो लिंक खोल्नु त पहिले खोल्नु न खोल्नु हो पोइन्ट बाँडिसक्यो यहाँ क्रिक इन्फोले दिएको छैन त यो त हुनु नै थियो नि तेस्रो चौथो म्याच हैन यो ड्र बग्नु यहाँ तपाईलाई उनी देखाइदिन्छु म ल हेर्नुभयो
Oh, got in. Sports level. Tied at the moment. Johnson has hit the winning run, and it has sailed out of the ground. A big one.
Yeah, obviously the Pakistan win on Paddy's Day was a pretty big day. It was probably the main highlight of the whole tournament, the whole 7 weeks we were there for ourselves and as a country, really. I think it changed everything with Irish cricket. I think that the position we were in, we needed that. We needed those results and to kind of put ourselves on the map. And I think we did that then, and that was really what's catapulted us to where we are now.
भाईजान मौका सातवीं बार ऑल द बेस्ट कोशिश करते रहना चाहिए एक दिन जरूर कामयाब होते जरूर ऐसा अब्बू कहा करते थे चुप पगले मैंने ऐसा कब कहा नहीं आपने नहीं वो तो मेरे अब्बू
इस फादर्स डे किसकी होगी जीत देखिए इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान 16 जून को आईसीसी क्रिकेट वर्ल्ड कप सिर्फ स्टार स्पोर्ट्स नेटवर्क और हॉटस्टार पर
In Group A, the two Southern Hemisphere heavyweights Australia and South Africa met in St Kitts. It would be a day when Matthew Hayden, who would score more than 600 runs in the tournament, made World Cup history.
Both Hayden and Gilchrist were amazing. I remember one team meeting a game, one of the first games. I think it was our first major game anyway, was against South Africa at St Kitts, and we were talking about their attack. As far as our batting meeting, we're talking about Pollock and how we had to respect him because he was their main bowler and all that. And we got maybe 1 minute into talking about how we were going to play their attack, and I remember Hayden and Gilchrist had already got together before the batting meeting, and they stopped us and said, "Hang on, don't worry about Pollock, we'll take care of him." And I think they took him for about 80 or 90, I think, off his 10 overs that day, and Haydos got 100 off 55 balls or 60 balls or something. And just to see them have that much confidence in their own games and to be able to play that way against a great bowler and a great team in a World Cup, that gave the whole rest of the group a fair bit of confidence to go there and play the same way as well.
They are attacking Sean Pollock. They're definitely going to attack Sean Pollock. Just a little shimmy down the wicket and, well, out the park. It's gone again. And it's gone again. I'm not going to hold back. Sean Pollock is the target. We thought he might be, and he is. How will he respond?
It's not for the faint-hearted. That is the stroke of the morning. It may be the stroke of the match.
That's 52 for Matthew Hayden.
Goodness me. Fancy being able to do that. To hit a man flat for 6 over mid-off. Or over square leg over mid-off.
That's a quality strike. That's the second boundary. Well, folks, it's on the cards. It's here. It's up for grabs. Fastest 100 in World Cup history.
Doesn't matter where you bowl it. This is one of the most wonderful hundreds you'll see. It is the fastest ever in the World Cup. It's done against the best side going around. Matthew Hayden has played a blinder.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously he had a fantastic tournament. You know, he powered against most sides. We played on a very flat wicket at St Kitts. They got 360, 370, I think, and we were definitely on target to get it. We just lost our way a little bit.
Monday cricket, your openers always set the platform, and we're lucky over the years to have had two of the best ever in Hayden and Gilchrist leading the way for us.
To Antigua to face the West Indies, and Humble another bowling attack.
Brilliant Ricky Ponting. How good is that? Signs of the old strutting Matthew Hayden. Phenomenal confidence and power. That's 48 for 1. Brilliant. Really brilliant. To hit it in front of square like that is remarkable. Powell's not slow. Amazing timing again. Matthew Hayden, this is the best of you. He made an incredible 100 down in St Kitts against the South Africans. The same stuff is being dished out with the West Indians.
That's his second 100 of this World Cup, and consecutive hundreds it is. He took 18 deliveries to get off the mark, but he's made up for it. His 9th one-day international 100 overall.
हान्दिनु कहाँ जाने हाइकिङ शिवपुरी
Matthew Hayden. Looking to cramp Hayden, who has an answer. That's the best of them. That's massive. That's Rose back.
If you're going to be attempting Yorkers to this man, get it right. Otherwise it will disappear.
That's clever. He likes this spot down beneath us, whichever end he bats at.
Just using the pace.
Now he goes big again. 180-degree range, 150 for Matthew Hayden. The highest score in the World Cup by an Australian.
Defending 322, Glenn McGrath led the way. He would strike 26 times in the tournament and remains the leading wicket taker in World Cup history with 71.
हातमा आज म त पुरै मोजमा छु अहिले मस्तीमा तिमी केही न केही भएका बेला चाहिँ किन गर्नु हो लाइभ हाल्ने होला हाइकिङको गुड आइडिया के रे भाइ ए हात नि लडेर गुन्टी खेलेको नि हिँड्दै ल दादाको अब एक्सर्साइज सुरु हुन्छ ल है अब ल भाइ अनि अनु भाइ